so beautifully.
Welcome. Join us in singing I Am Home.
I am home. I have traveled far along this road, and now I'm home. Shalom, shalom. In the love of God, I am home. I am home. I am home. I have traveled far along this road, and now I'm home. Shalom, shalom. In the love of God, I am home.
Good morning and welcome to Unity, spirituality with open hearts and open minds. So thrilled you're all here this day, be it in person or on Zoom. We are all connected and all in one place at a level of spirit wherever we may be on any given Sunday or any other day of the week for that matter. So I invite you to join me as we light the Christ candle and sing Come Light, Light of God, reminding us of the divine presence in each and every one and in all of life. Come light, light of God, give light to creation, enlighten our hearts and remain with your world. Come light, light of God, give light to creation, enlighten our hearts and remain with your world. And so we know we all abide in that sacred presence. And I've got two wonderful updates. First, Tom Drake is doing much better, got a pacemaker put in yesterday and will be on his way home. And Nancheska had a second procedure done on yesterday, and once she recovers from that, they're going to return her to Port Townsend, probably going to Life Care Center for a while to strengthen and do rehabilitation, but she'll be close to home where she can have visitors more, which I know she'll be really excited about. So she's recovering and doing well and knows that everyone sends their love and support, as do Tom and Claudia and all of our other little chickadees babies who are in the center of our prayers these days. So I invite you to stand, and we're going to sing a wonderful Ricky Byers song that's one that is energetic, and it calls on us to live this. And this is what we do all the time with one another in this spiritual family, but also with the world at large. Holy, holy way. Please stand.
And you have this on your, it is. It's on. Hello, hello. It's not on. Oh, it must be a battery. Oh, no.
There's a hum coming from somewhere.
Sorry.
Where's that hum coming from?
Well, can we go ahead without it for now? Is it double A battery? Yeah, double A. Yeah. Just one.
Ask and ye shall receive. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, I need to.
Okay, so while he's fixing that, if you want, you can sit down. We'll stand up again in a minute. As you all if you all were here last Sunday, one of the things that I talked about with the ask for what you need and offer what you can was the story of an owl that had come to me spiritually. Woohoo! The arrival of the owl. Woo! Yes. And so I shared with you how the night before in the singing bowl sound bath, I felt the presence of a little owl land on my chest. And it told me that Wendell Moss, who's been my spirit guide for almost a year now, that came to me in a depth meditation process, was the same little owl that we had rescued years ago in Texas. And it said, it was me. And so that I shared that story with you, and the synchronicity and how everything weaves together, and my helping him years ago, and now he's in spirit and he's come to be my spiritual companion. Well, Sharon Wensler, after the talk, says, I did a portrait of an owl. This was from 2020. And she said, it's your owl. And she said, I want to show it to you. And so I came in, and on my desk with a beautiful bow wrapped around it was this wonderful owl portrait. And I took one look at it and I went, Wendell Moss. And I showed it to Lane, and Lane said, that looks exactly like the little owl you rescued. And I went, yeah, it shows how interconnected we all are. Sharon, as an artist, connected to the spirit of that owl that's my companion, and did Wendell Moss's portrait, not knowing the story of the rescue or of my current. And so Wendell Moss now has a place of honor in my office. So if you ever want to visit the owl Wendell Moss, thank you again, Sharon. Such a gift of love and soul. I know it was hard for her to part with him. And so I said, if you need him back, let me know. And if you want to come visit, he's in my office. And she said, nope, Wendell Moss belongs there. So isn't that neat? Another story of how everything weaves together and our lives are woven together, even in ways that we get to be surprised about. My beloved Wendell Moss has been on Sharon's wall since 2020, waiting for the day when not only did it come in meditation and then came again in the singing bowl, but came again in this portrait. So miracles and wonders abound, and open to surprise. You never know what's going to come. So now I invite you to stand up, and let's sing Holy, holy way, this is how we live. Wendell Moss flies through the night sky, reminding us to live in a holy, holy way, flying even through the darkness with clarity and light.
And I need to explain your paper a little bit. It starts out, this whole song is a call and response. I'll do the call, and you will do the response being led by Ron and Kelly. You'll sing with them. And your sheet shows you call, response, call, response. And then this is the chorus, but all these responses down here, there's going to be a call before each one. And so if you just listen, you'll know what to respond, but if you don't understand the words I'm singing, the words are there. Just know that you'll listen before you sing each of these lines, okay? And it goes on to the back. It's long. It goes fast. We'll go. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me know that love is all around me.
Let me know that love is all around.
Oh, let my steps reveal a path of peace.
Let my steps reveal a path of peace.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live
Oh, let me learn from all the ways I fall.
Let me learn from all the ways I fall.
Oh, let me know that love can heal us all.
Let me know that love can heal us all.
Oh, let me share the good that's overflowing.
Let me share the good that's overflowing.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me care for those around the world.
Let me care for those around the world.
Oh, let me talk each day a little kinder.
Let me talk each day a little kinder.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, please be seated.
Just goes to prove we pay attention. Kind of. So this is the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th whisper. And the whisper today is love the folks in front of you. This is also another spot on the medicine wheel teachings, which is Mother Earth, the teachings of Mother Earth. Last week we talked about Father Sky, and today is Mother Earth. In a lot of indigenous traditions, it was the impregnation of Mother Earth by the rains and the sun and the warmth and the winds that created Mother Earth. That created the lushness of Mother Earth, the manifestation of Mother Earth as we know it. So there's a divine connection between Father Sky and Mother Earth. And so it's no wonder why these people, as they roamed around the planet, didn't have great reverence for all that they saw. Every plant, every animal, everything had purpose between Father Sky, Great Spirit, Father Sky, and Mother Earth. So it comes from, there's lots of teachings along this line. I'm going to stay with Black Elk for the next little bit. So Black Elk was a Lakota elder. He was I think, nephew of Crazy Horse. Right in the middle of the whole kerfunkel between white domination and indigenous peoples. And he said this, he said, "The Great Spirit is our Father, but the earth is our mother. She is the one who nourishes us. That which we put into the ground, she returns to us tenfold." So honor the earth, our mother. Honor your elders. Honor all whom we share the earth with. The four-leggeds, the two-leggeds, the winged ones, the swimmers, the crawlers, the plant and rock people. Walk in balance and walk in beauty. This is the nature of a thing called, a saying, Dakota saying called Matakawe Oyasin. All my relations. Often, most of their prayers would end in that saying, or a gathering would end in that saying, Matakawe Oyasin. And it's about a worldview that says, not only are we all part of creation, but we're all connected. Even that mosquito, we're connected with. I don't know, it's probably 8 or 10 months ago, I talked about a vision quest I was on, and that the rock people revealed themselves on the 4th day of my quest. And they were quartz crystals that showed up on this mesa that I was sitting on. And not to go back to it, but the way that I interpreted it is that those crystals were always there. And when I finally got to the place in my consciousness that I could really appreciate them, they revealed themselves to me. And that was the beauty of the quest, is to get to that place in my own mind. And we are to walk in beauty and in balance. That's another quote from Black Elk. The quote encourages people to do their best by bringing your heart and your mind together as one. And then to know that the power of the universe comes to us when we walk in that position, head and heart together as one. Chief Seattle said this way. She said, "The earth does not belong to man. Man belongs to the earth. Treat the earth well. It is not given to you by your parents. It is loaned to you by your children." Honor Mother Earth. So the lesson here is to love the folks in front of you. Be they four-legged, two-legged, winged ones, swimmers, crawlers, the plant, or rock people. And for us to do that in beauty. There's a Navajo prayer that goes like this. As I walk in beauty, as I walk, the universe is walking with me. In beauty, it walks before me. In beauty, it walks behind me. In beauty, it walks above me, and in beauty, it walks below me. Beauty on all sides. As I walk in beauty. And then they would say, Matakawe Oyasin, aho. Aho means, and good it is. And it just so happens to correspond with today's daily word. Glory. I celebrate the glory of God in myself and others. And I'll make that all other things. Magnificence, radiance, and tremendous power. These are the awe-inspiring qualities that describe the glory of God. Because I am a living expression of the Spirit, these glorious attributes are also part of my spiritual nature. In the peace of prayer, exquisite awareness of God's glory fills my mind and my heart. Everyone is God's living expression, a reflection of the divine glory just as I am. Even when my limited human perception has not yet perceived it, my faith shows me that this truth about every person I meet and everything I encounter. As my awareness of glory within wakens, my spiritual wisdom, understanding, and love teaches me to cooperate with all who are seeking to build a greater harmony, build greater abundance, and compassion among all humankind and the world's creatures. Sounds like Black Elk. John's put it this way: the glory that you have given me, I will give them, so that they may be one as we are one. I celebrate the glory of God in myself and others. And so it is. Amen.
And so we're now blessed to settle into that inner sacred space, a place of glory and peace, oneness and grace. Let us allow our wonderful chant sanctuary to carry us from within, opening to that sacred space, and then at the conclusion, returning to this outer sanctuary we're blessed to share, knowing the oneness that unites them all. Sanctuary.
Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, open-hearted, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I am a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, open-hearted, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I am a living sanctuary for you.
And so settle into this holy moment. Of all of the places you could have been, you chose to be here. Of all of the people you could be sharing this moment with, you were guided to this circle of kindred souls and spiritual family. Of all of the places you could live on earth, you are blessed to abide in this place of sea and sky and mountain and forest, with the infinite variety of nature that infills all of those sacred realms around us. Take a moment and simply become present and in deep gratitude for the journey of your soul that has brought you to this moment. to Mother Earth beneath your feet who sustains and nourishes you, to Father Sky above your head with lights by day and by night with new possibilities. All around you, be grateful for the created world and all of its kingdoms, the rock people, the minerals, the plant spirits, all of the expressions of that kingdom of flora. Within you, feel the presence of the divine shining forth, ever tenderly holding you in its presence, no matter what the outer world may bring. And before you, see a path that's revealed step by step, where you get to choose the direction you journey in, those who will companion you, and how you will perceive and interpret that which lies before you. What a wonder life is. From that first breath to each breath that you take, that is an unconscious body action, but is born of spiritual presence. Each breath a rededication to being in this world, as you are and as it is. Open now to be in gratitude for where you are in the journey of your life. Where we are collectively in the journey of ourselves as a community, as a nation, as a world. Your presence here was a soul choice, and it is one that we see and we honor. And we are in deep gratitude for the gifts that each and every one brings. Take a moment and allow Spirit to meet you right where you are. There has been beauty before, beauty below, beauty above, beauty to the right and left, beauty before you, and beauty within you. Awakened by your awareness simply of the presence of the divine and the light in all of it. Allow yourself to be blessed with whatever comfort, healing, insight, inspiration, grace, and unconditional love that you seek this day to bless you on the journey of your soul. Open now to receive these gifts in this holy moment. Now, as a channel of the divine, open to be a channel of prayers for yourself and others and our world. Allow yourself silently or aloud, however you are so guided, to raise up these prayers in this energy field of oneness and dedication to the path of the Christ. Let us pray. Unity of mortality. We unite these prayers with all of those entrusted to our High Watch prayer chaplains, written, spoken, or sent through time and space, heart to heart. Gather your life once again now and unite with all of those who pray for peace. And as an inspiration for each of us as we re-enter this world of polarity and duality, may we remember our oneness, but also may we remember that each moment is a choice to inspire you as you love the folks in front of you. Mother Teresa's Anyway poem and prayer. Let this companion you not only this week, but in all the days to come. People are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and frank, people may cheat you. Be honest and frank anyway. What you spend years building, someone could destroy overnight. Build anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, they may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough, but give the world the best you've got anyway. You see, in the final analysis, it's between you and your God. It was never between you and them anyway. May we walk gently and lovingly, opening to the beauty of the journey of life, and may we behold it in one another and our shared world. Let us now seal this time, uniting inner and outer sanctuaries once again. Sanctuary.
Lord, prepare me to
Be a
sanctuary, open-hearted, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I am a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, open-hearted, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I am a living sanctuary for you.
And so it is. Om, amen, and blessed be. Namaste. I behold the divine light in each and every one of you. And now, a gift of special music, one of Ron's creations this morning.
Can we believe it's love that we are made from? Can we open up the good that it can bring? Is my choice already made? Can I see another way of what the world is offering? When I'm looking for the good is what I see. Through the eyes of love comes the harmony. Throw away these restless thoughts, set my spirit free. When I'm looking for the good is what I see. When I'm looking for the good is what I see. If I've chosen you to be the bad man, that when it comes to love, I've shut the door. But I can open up my heart, make a brand new start. It's all about what I'm looking for. When I'm looking for the good is what I see. Through the eyes of love comes a harmony. Throw away these restless thoughts, set my spirit free. When I'm looking for the good is what I see. When I'm looking for the good is what I see. Through the eyes of love, through the eyes of love, through the eyes of love, through the eyes of love. Yes, I hold these superpowers, so why not use them right? I could take this doubt and fear, turn it into hope and cheer. I could turn the darkness into light. When I'm looking for the good is what I see. Through the eyes of love comes a harmony. Throw away these restless thoughts, set my spirit free. When I'm looking for the good, when I'm looking for the good, when I'm looking for the good is what I see.
Wonderful song, Looking Through the Eyes of Love. Remember years ago hearing the phrase, You don't see the world as it is, you see the world as you are. It's all about our perceptions, our understandings. And so we're doing this series on the Seven Whispers by Christina Baldwin. And she's going to be coming in October to be with us. I'm so excited. And we're doing the Seven Whispers, and today is number 6. So to get to this point, we've got maintain peace of mind, start centered and peaceful, move at the pace of guidance, remaining peaceful, practice certainty of purpose, make choices about how you use your life energy, surrender to surprise, realize no matter how many intentions you set, the one thing I can promise you is that you're going to be surprised as to how it unfolds. And then last week we had ask for what you need and offer what you can. That as you're moving through life, you're doing it with intention, but also with an openness of spirit that allows you to be surprised and to be curious. And because of that, you can be honest and authentic in offering what you can and asking for what you need in a dance of interconnectedness, that what life is all about. So today we have love the folks in front of you. And I loved Mother Teresa's prayer. Isn't that wonderful? Be who you choose to be, no matter what the response is. And I don't know about you all, but that's been easier said than done at various points in my life. And I think about the last month, just in this nation, we've had 2 very different political conventions. And we know that the country is polarized right now. And it's figuring out how do we do that spiritual balance of standing in our truth and yet loving one another. I've always loved the passage, speak the truth with love. To do that, we frequently do one or the other, but to do both is really tricky because it's saying, I'm willing to do what the Master said and to love not only the people that love me back and tell me I'm wonderful, but the people that disagree with me and think I'm terrible for whatever reason. Mother Teresa's piece is a reminder to always be true to yourself. That's one of the great spiritual wisdoms. Know thyself was over the temple in Delphi. Not know what's going to happen with the prophecies. Know yourself and then move from that place. She says this, to love the folks in front of us asks for us to look for the good in other people, even if we don't think it's there. Sound a little familiar? We already know how to find friends, how to follow a spark of attraction that causes us to look up, return someone's smile, meet their gaze, and begin to see the affinities in each other. This whisper is a commitment to practice seeking that spark even when it isn't obvious. That spark is always there. And we're in this amazing world where there's so many different kinds of people and traditions, people born into different countries, practicing different spiritual traditions, having different political beliefs, liking different kinds of music, liking different kinds of food and wine. Infinite variety. With all of the millions of people, none of us are exact duplicates. We have people we have more in common with and people less in common with, but our DNA is almost completely the same. It's just little tweaks that make us each so unique. And For me, the presence of the divine and my belief in God when I worked in a neonatal ICU, instead of falling away with, oh, how can these things happen to these babies? I had to work through that. But the beauty of the soul that shone through their eyes, even if they were only here for a couple of hours, made a difference in the world. Made a difference. And I found myself, because of the people that were in front of me, believing in the divine more than ever. And that we truly are eternal spiritual beings having an earthly experience for a divine reason. It was a gift from my brother Doug, and it's something that I've tried to incorporate always. And there are times it's easier to do than others, both personally and collectively, but that's what we're called to do. She says, to love the folks in front of us is a challenge, to drop our judgments and to become curious instead. We can walk our path establishing relationships of mutuality that are conscientious, conserving, and respectful of each other's humanity. We can do it. We can do it. They talk about how when there's an emergency, if there's some big thing that happens, whether it's 9/11 or whether it's a forest fire or a flood, and we're having a lot more natural disasters and events, but the thing that always shines forth is how people who were together will reach out and help each other. She talks about moving to the Pacific Northwest of Whidbey Island, and how over time she realized how important it was to be connected to the neighbors because of all of the wild storms that blow through the area in the winter. And you never know when you're going to be without power or where there's a power line down or what's going on. And so to be in connection with your neighbors is part of not just survival, but thriving and enjoying. And when it really comes down to it, never ever have I ever seen someone in a crisis situation, and I have been in a lot of different ones over the years, say, are you a Republican or a Democrat before I put you in my car and drive you away from danger? Suddenly that's not important. When it really comes down to life, we have so much more in common. Every mother prays for the health and safety of her children. Every father prays for the health and safety of their children. We do it in different ways, and the world is certainly an interesting garden of different ways of looking at things, but we're all here, and I believe that the calling of this time is not just to balance masculine and feminine energy in a way that harmonizes and is blessing at every level, but it's also a time to unite heaven and earth as one in a way that we never have before. To deepen that connection where we see someone's difference, but rather than vilifying it, go, okay, that's you. I believe something different. And I can let you breathe your oxygen. Please let me breathe my oxygen. Irma Bombeck was a woman that a lot of you may remember. She was one of my mother's favorite comedians. She wrote books about being a wife and a mother and a woman in the modern world. And she is one that I've always liked. And she had this wonderful thing that she came up with. And the reason she did is she said, it seems rather incongruous that in a society of super sophisticated communication, we suffer from a shortage of listeners. That's even more so now than it was when she wrote it back in the 60s, 70s. And she came up with an acronym that she thought would help. And it's HEART, H-E-A-R-T. H is hear me. How often are we thinking of our responses before the person's even finished their sentence? Listen, hear me. Number 2, even if you disagree, don't make me wrong. Let me be different, but don't make me be wrong. A, acknowledge the greatness in me and you. Recognize we're all doing the best we can with what we know at any given time, more often than not. R, remember to look for my loving intentions. So often we jump to a conclusion as to why someone has said something, and very often it comes from a very different place of intention than what we thought we knew. Because we're all different. We've all had unique life experiences. So remember to look for loving intentions. Don't assume the worst. And number T, tell me the truth with compassion. Tell me the truth with compassion. Speak the truth with love. Irma Bombeck and Jesus got a similar message. I love that. In A Course of Love, which is, I think, the new writings for the Church of Amor, for the deeper teachings of Jesus and Magdalene about the power of love to not only transform our world, but to transform us, says this: the fact that you are not alone in the world shows that you are not meant to be alone. Everything here is to help you learn to perceive correctly and to go from beyond perception to the truth. What is the opposite of separation but being joined in relationship? Everything joined with you in relationship is holy because of what you are. Those folks in front of you are holy. You are part of the folks in front of them. They are holy and you are holy. She says, day by day, loving the folks in front of us consists of little moments of connection that build understanding of who we are. These connections become tiny islands of trust that accumulate one action at a time. We develop a sense of belonging and we feel at home somewhere. I love that, a sense of belonging, understanding who we are through little moments of connection. Random acts of kindness that don't ask, what do you believe, but just simply go, I see you. And I'm here to be in this world with you to the best of my ability. Connections and trust that accumulate over time. They've done many different programs where they bring people that are on two opposite sides of a conflict. They did this, they've done it in the Middle East, they did it with the Irish youth, and they bring people from, a youth from each side of the conflict, and they bring them to a neutral place for them to live together for a while. And they said, at first it's usually very, very tense. But very quickly it changes. When you sit at table and have dinner with someone, you begin to see them and hear them and know them. In the ancient spiritual traditions that are found in the Hebrew scriptures, one of the things that would happen is if you sat at table with someone and shared a meal, they could do you no harm. And so when you pitched your tent in amidst other tents, you made sure you went to the big potluck at the middle of the oasis. And you shared table with everyone, and then everyone went to bed that night knowing they should be safe because there's a covenant established through that. And getting to know each other, we realize how much more we have in common, and we can honor the differences as well. And I am still growing in how I do that. I'm not there yet. I'm working really hard. This is my spiritual evolution point, is to be able to speak the truth with love and to behold others with unconditional regard. She says this: we may never be the best of friends, but we can discover compassion for all the history and the decisions that go into making the person in front of us who he or she is today. Oprah always talked about the importance of our stories, and that when we hear each other's stories, we instantly connect. Discover compassion for all the history and the decisions that go into making the person who's in front of you. Knowing a person's story softens our reactivity and judgment of each other. Less reactivity equals more tolerance. Less judgment equals more peace. Less reactivity, I'm watching that one, equals more tolerance. Less judgment, I'm watching that one too, equals more peace. There is a new show that just came out on Netflix called Inside the Mind of Dogs. And you may wonder, how does that tie into the people in front of you? Well, I think most of us say we pray that someday we can be the people that our dogs already think we are. Talk about unconditional love and constant regard. What was interesting is it talked about how all the different dog breeds have, it was 90-something% DNA in common with the wolf. The Dachshund and the Scottish Deerhound, little bitty dogs, great big dogs. It's just, again, a little tweak. Most of the DNA in the dogs that we're living with are the energy of the wolf that over time has evolved and connected and companioned us. And that probably came about as a way to bless both, because we had food, and so they would kind of follow to get the food we had. And then in return, they would guard and let us know if anything dangerous was approaching. And then slowly over time, instead of being on the periphery, they moved in and sat next to us at the fireside. And I know I have to really watch, because to this day I want to share my food with our two little mini golden doodles, even though I know that's not something I should do a lot. But they can have their dog treats. And isn't there something special? When we moved here, we'd been here about 5 years, and there was an article in the paper that said there were more dogs per capita in Jefferson County than there were children per capita. All you have to do is go downtown and you see that and you know that. Now, the thing that was interesting was what they have discovered was that the dogs survived and evolved and have become connected with us, not because of survival of the fittest, but rather survival of the friendliest. Isn't that neat? Not survival of the fittest, but survival of the friendliest. We all need to wag our tails more. In this it says, dominance brings a very high cost, but cooperation leads to a better life for all. This is the boon of our current evolutionary moment, is to realize that it's not about the fittest, it's about the friendliest, the most connected. Charles Darwin, who did the famous book on origin of the species, I've shared with you that he mentions survival of the fittest only twice, but he mentions love 55 times. We've missed the bigger message of what he wrote. We've tried to simplify it too much. And so because of that, he actually has another quote that he's become very famous for. It is not the strongest of the species that survives, not the most intelligent of the species that survive. It is the one most adaptable to change. I've seen programs done on aging, and the people that cope with and make the most of aging not only are deeply interconnected and remain that way, they also realize that they have something beyond themselves that they're dedicated to, some higher calling, something that invites them to be part of the world. And it's also an ability to change and adapt to change. Because that's the one thing we can all expect, is things are changing. Some of us welcome change and some of us resist change. Whichever way you are, change is inevitable. And so if you can be adaptable through collaboration and cooperation and evolving consciousness, then think about the amazing world we could make. We look and see the classic fight or flight when something goes wrong. The newer one blends the feminine in as well as the masculine fight or flight. The feminine is tend and befriend. Evolutionary wise, tend and befriend. And it's not fight or flight, it's tend and befriend. It's the message from the inside the minds of dogs. They've got it. If we could look at one another the way our dogs look at us, how much better and more loving the world would be. A Course of Love says this. This is what we're evolving toward. Remember now one lovely day, for each of you has had at least one that was a shining light in a world of darkness. A day in which the sun shone on your world and you felt you were a part of everything. Every smile seemed meant for you, and your feet hardly seemed to touch the soft ground on which you walked. Walk lightly, walk in beauty. This is what awaits you as you join with what you see. This awaits you as you place no judgment on the world, and in doing so, join with everything and extend your holiness across a world of grief, causing it to become a world of joy. This is our calling. We can choose to be the friendliest. That's how we survive. That's how we thrive. That's how we speak the truth of love and bring our shared wisdom and different perspectives into a field that allows each to be who they are. The spiritual practice this week, each week it's 15 minutes at least, morning and afternoon. You can do more if you want. If you can't handle 15, do 5 and then build up. But 15 minutes in the morning, first thing, and 15 minutes as you go to bed at night. And she said, this week for 15 minutes in the morning and the afternoon, Meditate on we are each other's people. And so in the morning, think about who you can easily send a blessing to and who's more challenging, and send blessings to both. At the end of the day, notice the connections that you had during the day and how it enlivened your day and sweetened the journey of your soul. I'm also going to give you something that I've done for years, and I've invited you to join me in, which is to find someone challenging to pray for each day. I think all you have to do is turn on a different TV channel, and you can probably come across someone pretty quickly. It may be somebody you encounter. It may be somebody in your family who's driving you absolutely nuts right now. It may be a good friend that you've gotten disconnected from. Whoever it is, it may be just a face you see on the television screen that you never meet, but notice who draws your attention. And whatever side they're on, whatever their background, if they draw your attention, send them a blessing. Look at them with curiosity rather than judgment. Bless them for their truth and you for your truth, and find someone challenging to consciously send your prayers to. And the thing that I can promise you is it will help shift that reactiveness, help shift that judgment into a place of more unconditional regard, from which we can then build and collaborate in friendliness a new world that will bless one and all. Let us pray. Sweet, sweet Spirit, we open in willingness to be channels of the divine presence this day and always. May we remember that love is the most important energy and power and transformational presence in the world. Let us remember that rather than competing, it is time to cooperate, to collaborate, to allow us to co-create a world that works for all, something that we at Unity seek. May we accept the wisdom that comes from realizing that each and every soul is here on a unique soul journey with lessons to learn and gifts to share. May we see one another with softer vision and with ears that listen for the tenderness beneath the outer yelling. May we be the presence of the divine. May we behold the presence of the divine. May we remember that, as Mother Teresa reminds us, in the final analysis, it's really between us and our God. It was never between us and the outer world and the people anyway. We open in willingness to hear, even if you disagree. Acknowledge the greatness. Remember to look for loving intentions, and tell me the truth with compassion. Heart, abide in heart and love, with everything joined with you in relationship as holy. And so it is. Om, amen, and blessed be. Oh. And so now we're going to do a song of inspiration. And James Taylor, He evidently didn't get to be on. I didn't see him on the Democratic convention. He was supposed to be on the first night, and it went so late they had to skip him. So, James Taylor, we got you covered. You're here at Unity. Please stand and join in singing Shower the People, which I imagine is what he would have sung if we'd gotten to hear him.
Yes, and I have taken just the chorus of his song because I thought it fit perfectly to turn into a chant. So we're going to be repeating that part like a chant and then fade out with the first line. Okay.
Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be just fine if you only will. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be just fine if you only will. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be just fine if you only will. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel.
Please be seated, and on your chairs today, you have a bright purple Love the Folks in front of you with some of the quotes and with the spiritual practice for the week. So you can add it to your pile of colorful cards to remind you of the 7 whispers.
Well, shower the people you love with love. That's probably about the best thing we can do. I think that's what Jesus said someplace along the line. Love yourself, love God, love yourself, love your neighbor. It's all love, and the greatest commandment is to love. So let us take out our offering as we do here each week, and we will bless it. And it's really a blessing of you, because you are the generator of that offering and however that comes, in whatever form. So together, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful for all the blessings.
All that I am, all that I see,
All that I've been and all that I'll ever be
is a blessing. It's so amazing.
and I'm grateful for it all.
Grateful for it all. So I lift up my hands.
as the minions would say, no, 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 no. Or banana, 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 banana. Anyway, where are we? Oh, yes, thank you, God. Oh, thank you for the blessings of this offering. And as we bless this offering, let us shower the ones we love with love. Shower ourselves with love. And see how that feels. And then shower all the rest with love. And see how that feels. Our calling is not just to love the ones that we see in front of us that we like. Our calling is to see love in the ones that travel with us. Everyone that travels with us. And so we receive these gifts and we send them forward, that spark of the divine, the love that we are, innately grows and flourishes, goes beyond boundaries, separates the divisions. That is really our calling altogether, is to separate division between us and spirit, to be totally one with God. And in that oneness, there can be no separation. It doesn't exist. So we send these gifts forward with that intention, that somehow or another we get it together, figure it out, express our love, and mend the division and create heaven on earth. And let us do that in our lifetime. So it is. Amen. That's not a big calling, is it? No, we can get right on that. Well, so everything's on the website except, well, I want you to just remind you, next Sunday at from 4 to 6, we have a concert in here. It's the One World Fusion, I think they call them something, the Richard Russell group, One World Music. And it is divinely inspired. I was at the last one, so I can tell that from my own experience. So I would invite you to think about doing that coming next Sunday. Beverly's got tickets, I think, or it's got at least a sign-up sheet. So see Beverly. I think it's a suggested $30 offering, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. But it's 2 hours of really, really amazing music with amazing musicians. So I invite you to do that. We got a bunch of stuff coming up later on. We do need, however, we're still looking for somebody to help co-create the Festival of Lights. I realize it's only August. Didn't look like it yesterday, but it is. It's still August. But the Festival of Lights is sneaking up on us, which is our fundraiser, and we do it the first week of December, so it sneaks up faster than Christmas. So we could use a couple co-hosts or hostesses to help coordinate all this stuff. And so think about it. We'd let myself know, Pam know, anybody on the board. We do need to start really getting our consciousness around what's it going to look like. I know other people are already thinking about it a lot more intuitively than I am, but that's coming up. Other than that, I think that's good enough for the announcements. What else we got? Anything? No. We got a bunch of stuff coming up in October, which you'll find out about in October, or September, I mean. So you'll find about that in September. So with that, let us create a circle around the perimeter, and we'll sing our way out. And Mary Dean, I see that you have a friend with you today. Well, welcome, Merritt. You just dropped the average age of this congregation down. So we appreciate you showing up.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, united all are we. Yes, we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is our moment now. With every breath I take, yes, this is my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. And we know the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Well, and truly it is so. Woo! Blessings. Blessings. Lots of goodies.